This is just a little video about what we now know as the BT Tower, soon to be a hotel, I believe, but originally it was the post office tower, owned by the post office, who were in control of our phone lines back then. And this original brochure from the 60s, this building was completed in 1965. Look, 2 shillings and 6pence. That's how much this lovely brochure cost. As we look at it there, look, it's a very different skyline back then. These are what they call the horns. They transmitted the microwaves to other towers in the distance, which would send and receive also the microwaves of the information necessary for the making of the calls. And oh look, there we go. Look, that's an old dial you used to have on the phone. You used to dial the number in with that. There she is back then. Those horns, as they call them, have been taken off now. I think they were getting very old and they were corroding, so they weren't safe anymore. So this shows actually that, I think they call them trunks, of where the towers were that would send the information to this tower, to all of them. There you go. That's the post office tower one there. That's looking out from the skyline. As I say, very, very different back then. This was the tallest building of the time in the 60s. Now it's just barely visible on the skyline unless you know what to look for. Look, there you go. That shows transmitting and an exaggerated curvature of the earth. So if it was low on the ground, it wouldn't, it'd be blocked. Here we are. That's it from, I think that's Broadcasting House. That is the foundations, a trussing of pre-stressed post-tensioned cables. Concrete was poured in and it made a raft which rested on the hard blue London clay. 13,000 tons of steel, concrete and glass. There we go. There we see it. These cantilevered stages. So basically, when we look, there we go. There's a couple of other pictures. So all the levels are cantilevered like this, but the others have had enclosures or offices built. These ones were left open for aerials or satellite dishes, whatever was used at the time. Look at these men, very courageous there, hanging off the side, smoking a cigarette. That's a look down. I think it's called from a fisheye lens. This looks like the height of it back then compared to other buildings like St Paul's Cathedral. There we are. Another fisheye lens photo. There we go. Looking down on London. I wouldn't like to be there. I'm not that keen on heights. These are cables in I believe the trunking chamber that went up the middle. Here we go. This shows a bit about where equipment was placed. And these are some of the old panels which the trunking circuits were put into and connected. And here we go, lots of switches. And these basically vintage computers, which I expect were very clever for the day. Here we are. What's this? This is a standby power plant. Wow, I didn't know about that. A diesel generator, basically, in case there was a power cut. It's pretty impressive. There we go. See there, more equipment. And here we go. This is what we call one of the horns as it stood. Obviously not there now. So this is where it's being fitted in those platforms, those open platforms that we now see today when we look at the building. And obviously it had offices, lots of offices. Here we go. These are vision circuit amplifiers. So let's have a look what it says about those. Oh, and it had a revolving restaurant. Here we go. We can't go up there now. It's not open, but this is what it's like. Here we go. That's in there. The restaurant revolves 2.5 times every hour, giving diners an ever-changing panorama of London through its glass walls. And I'm told it was a very, very salubrious restaurant as well, with only the finest food. Unfortunately, it was bombed by IRA in the 70s and closed to public use after, and hasn't been open to public use since. So that's a shame. This is an aerial which was 620 feet above London and was a weather forecasting radar. There we go. And that's the end. The post office logo as it was then. Facts and figures. Here we go. You've got the total height, including the mast there, 625 feet. The restaurant, 520 feet. The observation platform. Construction began in 1961, completed in 1964, and opened 1965. There we go. And here's it at night as it was back then, as I say, on a very open, spacious skyline, very, very different to the skyline we see of 2024. Hope you enjoyed that.